All right. And we are live. Flashpoint returns, the old guard, back in the day before the last word with Ebontis, Ty Guy Travis, and yours truly, LordCognito. Thursday evening campfire is back. Wilhelm Scream, what's up, man? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you in the chat. And yeah, we're talking Destiny, man. We're taking it back to the Flashpoint days. Our son is not here today.
Yes.
Our wayward
Our
child.
Scion, our little Scion friend.
A little Scion friend.
Yeah.
But how's my fellow beefy Cabal? Because that's what everyone.
Yeah,
You know they clowned me for using beefy as terminology for us, right?
Who?
You know I'm getting clowned on IOP. I didn't tell you. So remember when Travis dubbed us beefy?
I mean, King's taller than I am, but I'm not small. But I know he's like, I'm probably bigger than okay. Yeah, I was like, we're not. Yeah, I'm 6 foot and I'm about 240 right now. So
exactly,
I was like, I'm heavier than I should be, but I was like, there's some muscle in there. So
yeah, and I went down from 240 to now I'm about 225. Yeah, right, but we still.
I need to get down to like 220.
Yeah, we got to hit the cardio. But yeah, they clowned me. They on the connotation that we're beefy. I'm like, no, we are. Your guys are tall. But anyway, nothing about that. What's going on with you?
Yeah. So it's been an interesting week. We did finish up Season Deep. We'll get into the ramifications, thoughts on that one. Had a discussion with one of my community members about that. Dabbled in a little Redfall yesterday. So I was curious. There was a 1.1 patch, and it was a sheer curiosity. My wife she's like rehearsing she's actually doing a musical, hasn't done one in a while, so she's out rehearsing. And so I've got a lot of streaming to do, so I just wanted to kind of try to like mix it up. And I saw there was a patch, and I had been given a key, and actually I had a few days left to kind of do coverage for it, for like it to qualify. And I was like, you know what? I'm honestly curious. So I booted it up, and I get most of the reviews because this is patch 1.1, so I don't know how much polish was there. Still, there were vampires that I walked up right behind. Now, one thing I will say, and this is why everyone needs to play variety. When you fire a gun in a different game that is not Destiny, you appreciate Destiny guns that much more. Like, it is ridiculous. Now, granted, the sniper rifle in Redfall, when I fired one of those, I was like, that actually had a little weight and pop to it. The little pistol, awful. Like, it was not good. So, I mean, and then like it's just the weight, the impact of the weapons. It's like, you can give Destiny crap all the time. Totally fine. A lot of it's justified a lot of the time because, you know, it's nobody's ever going to get everything right. But like when you fire a gun, they are in the top echelon of a short list when you compare it to other stuff. And I mean, you know, you're running between quests and I'm like, just running down the main street, and I'm like, you'd think there'd be somebody here, but no, not too much. It's just, I mean, I watched all the reviews because it was like the thing that I was like, oh, it's gonna come out, and then I got a code that night, and I turned on the reviews. I was like, and it was just, yeah. So played that. On a very positive note, I played the demo for Sea of Stars, and I was in my bag of Chrono Trigger. Oh my god!
Let's go. Let's go. You got the vibe?
If you like 100%. It's got the composer on it. So he's got some stuff on there. But your style, you've got the little party. They had combo attacks. But I love the little touches to make a SNES like RPG feel modern. Even just like when you start, like you're running along a train. Oh, I need to like go down a ledge. So you actually like go down a ledge, like as you're running around in the area. And then you can like climb up things. So there's a little bit of verticality to it. And then like you go through, there was fishing, which, you know, it's actually better than Destiny, but that's fine.
Oh god, yeah, we're gonna talk about that fishing.
Yeah. And then like the main kind of part of the demo for combat and like running around had like little like puzzles and stuff that you had to do in different rooms and things, and then like move in different pieces. So it was like a perfect balance of just enough of a little modern touch, but also like the Chrono Trigger sensibilities to the party, the members, like different people, the combo attacks. It's got a little Super Mario RPG where you can hit the button as you attack to get like the bonus on it. And then there was another, well, it's like when you hit, but if you hit, like when you set up the attack and then it goes through the animation, but if you touch the button again right on impact, you get a bonus damage. Mario RPG does the same thing. Like if you would jump, you could jump again as Mario on people's heads multiple times and do bonus damage. So same principle there. There's a girl that like she throws out a little like moon boomerang and she's got like a staff. Well, you can deflect it, but it gets faster and faster as you go. So if you're like really good at tapping, it's like and doing a ton of damage.
Okay.
But like, you know, it's text on the screen. It was just like, as soon as I got combo attacks though, I lost it. I was just on stream and I lost it because that was like, that's one thing I don't understand why is not in RPGs. Now, I will tell you, I've skipped many of them, and Maddie probably yeah, I've been away for a long time. So it's like, Maddie will probably be like, dude, you were missing so much. And that's fine. So it's like, I booted up an RPG. I'm like, I really haven't played a JRPG in a while. But this is just like, this is the Chrono Trigger look that I want for now. And then I want the Chrono Trigger remake for the story later. But like, it's the feel of Chrono Trigger that I had fun with on that one.
That's high praise from you, because I know how much Chrono Trigger means to you. That's extremely high praise from you.
I mean, it was Iron Man.
Which one?
To somebody in my chat, I know, and it's like, I feel like you probably know, but it's like,
Black Iron Man?
Black Iron Man, yeah. He was in chat, and he's like, what are you playing? I was like, it's called Sea of Stars. When does it come out? And then when combo attacks went off, he was like, like we were both just like, so like Chrono Trigger fans, like it's not perfectly Chrono Trigger. Nothing's going like always going to be different. But I was like the world map. You walk out of like the first town where you're like kind of getting your first party. You walk out, it goes to the world map where you're the little guy, and then you're going to the next area. And I'm like,
oh, they got all the feels.
Dude, they got all the feels in there. So no, that was huge for me. I beat the Liza P demo in the final boss. That took some practice.
How was that? How was our assessment? What's our assessment of Liza P? You're a Souls expert.
Potential. The weapon system where you're kind of like assembling a weapon with like a hilt and then a blade kind of thing, or like a top and a bottom, has potential for customization. You can kind of do it on the fly, which is nice. Like anytime you basically go to any of the points. Definitely a little quality of life things they should change. Like anytime you want to level up, you can't do it at a bonfire. You have to do it back in the main town. I'm like, change that right away. That's terrible. But the combat was decent. I saw something where they said they're going to be changing the dodge, like to have a little more, I think, intentionality to it. The blocking was kind of an interesting one, because if it was a big attack, you either could run and probably get away, but you really had to like start booking it early if it was like an unblockable attack, or you had to perfect parry it. So there's no like partial. It's either you're getting smashed into the ground, you run really far away, or you time it right.
Gotcha.
But once you figure that out, it really, because half the time you try and run away, you wouldn't get there. You couldn't dodge enough to the side to get out of the way. So finally you got to learn it. So there is some parry involved, which I'm okay with now. I haven't played Sekiro and other stuff. The parry is okay. It's definitely got potential. It's one I want to play through. I mean, you got FromSoft, Neo. I haven't played Wolong. I'm not sure where that's going to land at some point.
Yeah, I'm surprised you haven't played Wolong.
It's just bad timing of things.
Bad timing when it came out. Yeah.
And then, like, I don't know if it's on those two level, but for like the Sub-Souls genre, it feels like right now for a demo, pretty good. Like,
nice.
Boss design's cool. Graphics look pretty good. Ran pretty smooth on my PC. So not a ton of complaints there. And then, yeah, the story this week, and we'll get there. What about you? What have you been up to besides all the podcasts and Xbox filling up your ear holes and all that stuff?
Oh, yeah. It's just been all FTC, everything. So many podcasts, so many stuff going on that. As far as on games, I was back into Diablo for a bit, and then I got to shout out the homies, man. Shout out to Sinister, shout out to Scream, who hit me up last night, and it was like, yo, you're around. We know you've been trying to get the dungeon done. Your schedule's crazy. So I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. And finally got it done. Ghosts of the Deep, man. Ghosts of the Deep. And I got to give myself credit. I don't know how I avoided every spoiler known to man. Like, I don't know how I did this. I have to give myself a lot of credit. And yeah, we will get into it, unless you want me to get into it now. As far as
you can go straight into the dungeon.
Yeah,
that works.
Yeah, man. So look, I didn't know what the premise was. Obviously, we start off on Titan, Sloane's talking the whole bit, and basic mechanics in the beginning, kind of follow the goo, you know what I'm saying, deposit the thing. But I thought it was, it's a decent action pack, basic kind of a story thing. But surprisingly, I liked one of the strengths of this season for me is the actual underwater mechanic. I actually like that feeling. You
Yeah.
can't shoot the guns. You feel like the BioShock thing where you know, those things from the old back in the day when they used to send men underwater and they had
Yeah.
the cable attached to them.
The creaking and the pressure sounds may be a little
Yeah.
too soon in the world of life right now, but
True.
yeah, I was like, that
hits
may,
you-
yeah,
Bro, it hits even harder based on real life
Yeah.
situations
Not
with
the
the
best, but-
Titan situation, submarine. But now, like, I really like it. Now, granted, that part is extremely long, and I do feel like, okay, there was a little.
Were you running around? Were they getting you the collectibles and stuff like that? Were they doing all that and like sharing bubbles and things?
They scream, and others were rushing through. So I didn't get all of them. I got a few, but I'm gonna go back and do it again because the Zero Wrath commentary is excellent.
Yeah.
It really is.
Excellent.
It really is. So my only nitpick was that when you do deep dives normally, you know how like one person gets the bubble, gets the pressure, and then it kind of respawns.
Yeah, you have to kind of share these. They do respawn, but the time on them, you kind of have to plan if you're going to. I do all of it solo, so I just run through on my own and don't worry about it. So I know like my path and fall through. And I've done it now, where it's like from the first encounter to the next part, it doesn't feel that bad because then everything else is just like the whole time. But yeah, I was like, I mean, that's one thing I kind of said about the whole dungeon is like you could trim everything by about a third. Whether it be first encounter, underwater, boss health, and the final two boss healths. If you trimmed about a third off of each of those, as a solo player, especially at least for the health,
God bless you. I don't know how you doing this solo. Like God, like this, that when we got to the first boss,
yeah,
bro. That room is straight chaos. Then I was getting annoyed because I'm in the mix of like, okay, Decepticons on the right, Decepticons on the left. Oh my god! And then
Decepticons.
I'm slipping. Remember the movie? You don't remember Transformers? Anyway, so while this is going on the staircase, I'm slipping and falling into the hole and missing
you gotta
damage
know where the floor is. Yeah.
Bro, that joint was driving me crazy at first, but I do like the kinetic, chaotic nature of it.
Yeah.
And then the symbols, and then deposit in the statue, come back, go back to the DPS thing. Everybody jump in the ghoul. All right, DPS, right? So that part, love it. I thought it was great. I don't know how you're doing this solo, bro. Like that right there. You beat that part solo?
Oh, I've done it. That's easy part solo.
Oh, you're a savage.
No,
so
like, do you want to know how?
Go ahead.
It's right now. I'm going for. I did a pure survival build, and people probably do it a similar way. Syntheseps is what I see for DPS, but honestly, Lorely and Bonk Hammer. So I'm doing Bonk Hammer to get health back as I pick it back up. Sunspots are healing me, and then Lorely is there for those pucker moments where like, okay, I'll survive.
Okay, survive.
But it's honestly, I'm just like hammering everybody, and sunspots all over the place.
Sunspots all over the spot. Okay,
so
I got you.
That's why for me, and that's the reason why. Also, it's like I know I can do it on my Titan, and I've seen other people do it, but it's like I would really need to see like dig deep to figure out other builds. Like there's probably a Devour build that kind of works somehow, but it doesn't feel like the season for it. For like a void, so it is.
Well, the void, the artifact does have the when you get the what they call them, the void. Why am I blanking on the name of them? Breach. There we go. When you get the breach, you get the over shield. But my question for you is DPS. What are you using weapon wise?
Sword.
Oh, your sword. I might have to bring out Acreus, bro. I might have to bring out Acreus because everything is in your face and it's so intense.
I can solo phase him with the sword. Solo 5. I can solo 5 phase him with a sword, which is not like big bragging rights, but being as I'm doing it solo 5 phase with a sword.
That's huge. That's huge.
Like, and that's not even limit, it's a legendary sword.
Yes.
So if like 3 people in a well and lament and like some solar stacking, you could probably just destroy the dude.
Absolutely. So I love that. I love that encounter. I like the underwater. I like the fact that he down there chasing you. And then let's be honest, Hive Guardians are always a plus. Right, when you have Hive Guardians in any encounter from an enemy type, it's always a plus. So you got that, and then shout out to Scream. He was definitely trying things while we were doing that encounter. But anyway, we did it legit, and then then I will say even before that though, I actually like, even though I agree it was a little bit lengthy doing the diving, I like it thematically for what it led to.
Exactly.
Because bro, I had no idea, bro, what we're doing, why we're here, what's going on. And we get there and you jump into that room and I said, "Oh, yo, this is fire!" Like we are literally at Oryx's grave. Like this is like you see. No, I said, "Wait, is that?" And then Sinister screaming like, I was like, I lost it. I lost it. You saw the taking hole in his chest, and then we're talking about, okay, you got to this. We were setting up our little talking points: knee, arm, head. You know what I'm saying? Chest. As far as where we're gonna go, who's gonna get the reveal, and then do the whole link the pieces, and then wait till the night comes to you when you on the designated spot that you need to be. The ground will grow, the glow, and shoot that. And then I do like the ball. First of all, I love the imagery of a necromancer hive wizard trying to resurrect him.
Yeah.
That is fire to me. And then the fact that obviously when you beat the encounter, which I love the first of all, shout out to the boss for not staying in the same pace and being annoying and being very far and moving around. Like she ain't playing no games with that. So
really, really fun when you're on your 6 damage phase as a solo player.
Bro, I don't even want to know how you doing.
It's 6. Arbalist is okay. So this is a weird thing for me. They have shields. Both the bosses, they have a shield. So you got to pop the shield or you got to work the shield down.
Correct.
Some people will just like, and this is for me, like it may not be the most efficient. I pull Arbalist because your energy primaries can do a ton of work.
Yes.
So I pull Arbalist and it's a 1 pop on the shield, and then I switch over to like a Taipan with like Focus Fury and triple tap. And then I just get as many shots as I can. For me, my best damage spot is on the crown of the head, top.
Yes, top of the head. Yeah.
Like much easier as a solo for that one. Otherwise, it's just a bit chaos down below. You'll get chaos. Some of it.
Bro, especially the knee on the if you're at his head looking outwards on the right side, I don't like that. I don't
like that one, I'll kind of use it and then I'll fall farther back. I don't love that one though, but I don't like the knee or the foot. Neither of those.
Oh, the foot is rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. And then you got a spawn point.
The hand's okay off to the side.
It's okay.
The hand I can work with. The knee and the foot kind of suck. But yeah, the crown of the head, that's my go-to. So it's like there's 2 decent and 2 that suck generally.
Yes. Shout out to Outsider. Yeah, the boss can move further away because she knows them. Them Arc Moths, bro. Those are crazy.
Oh, I already called that long ago. Like first time I went in there and ran that, I was like, oh, Arc Moths are gonna ruin a solo run. They've ruined multiple solo runs. Fuck those moths.
Exactly. Yo, get this though. This was the ultimate hilarity. So we get.
Sorry, that's my one curse word for the day.
I love
it. So PG-13. It's my one curse word for the show. Sorry, everybody, for the family friendly. But that's my honest feelings about those. They've ruined too much stuff.
Bro, I love it. So I'm sitting there like, all right, we're so close. We got a good rhythm now. Surprisingly, Centrifuge was ridiculous in there. Like I could not believe how good it was in there. I was blinding.
I see that.
Yeah, I was in there. I did the most DPS out of everyone. I was shocked. I had Centrifuge, the Terminus Horizon arc. Remember that arc heavy, the 360 heavy from the other dungeon.
Oh, Spire.
Yeah, I had that, the Terminus Horizon. I had what you call Centrifuge, and then I think I had like a fusion or whatever. But surprisingly, you know what did crazy work for me? Geomags. Geomags are ridiculous on DPS. Now now it gives the Joe and it's extended, bro. Even Sinister was like, bro, you did all that DPS, because especially when you run out of heavy. But anyway, so you beat the thing. Loved the encounter, loved the conversation, got more Zivu around love. She got a lot of love for her bro. She got a lot of love for Oryx, you know what I'm saying? And I just love the idea of how fearful Ikora was. That they didn't even want to tell Hawthorne what happened. They're like, yo, what happened down there? It's like, no, we're not going to talk about it. She's like, we've never seen Ikora shaking like that. So it goes to show, part of Savathun's 2 truths, 2 lies, to take your king will rise again kind of thing was very interesting. And now if you want to transition, almost correct. Now if you want to transition to the story, I'm very curious because I got a lot to say about the story, but I want to hear your thoughts on the story beats coming into this week as far as,
So for me on the story this week was like, I was curious where it was going to go because we had week 1, big introduction of Underwater, Asa, flown, half taken. Like, she gonna make it? She not? Where we at? I don't know. Doesn't seem too good. 2, 3, and 4, you get the poltergeist possessed like voiceovers. very out of context. Not a lot moves there. You get some cool discussion between other characters. A little history. You got like, Drifter and Zavala and Sloan and Saladin and so many different characters like talking in places, which was kind of cool. I would have to go back to like listen to everything in sequence just to like put it all together. Um, then last week we got the giant reveal, 4 months too late, but a very cool information about what is the Witness. We don't know too much about the Veil as we were talking about with Travis, but we do know more about the Witness, kind of the origins, why it's very pissed off at the Traveler, that kind of thing. And again, this is from a guy who doesn't always go in and read the lore books, kind of getting the high level take. It's like, so if you know more and I'm saying things wrong, that is totally fine. But
Good, you good.
yeah. So then I was like, okay, so we got the big reveal. And usually, like the second to last, is usually like the climax for Destiny, like these seasonal stories. Like the one after is usually kind of, a little wrap up, maybe not a bow on it, or waiting for the other shoe to drop. Now, are Destiny stories ever going to be like perfect? No, but I will say the way this story ended, it checked a lot of boxes for me that not a lot of seasons do. So for me, it was like, what am I doing in next season? I know exactly what I've got to do next season. I just don't know how long it's going to take. Who's involved in next season? I know exactly who's involved in next season. I know why. I know NPCs and other characters that are going to be involved. And I think there's also going to be some very interesting moments next season of discussions or character interactions or stuff going on. I also feel like I don't need an epilogue. There is no required epilogue here. This is just season 22, go. So that like the fact that I don't need an epilogue, and then it was big reveal, which I'll let you get into. Like, okay, we kind of expected it, but now we definitely know for sure. Got it said in like cool voices ways. Sword at the throat moment there, almost. Come on, back down. But the cool thing for me was the way they handled the post discussion. That was the part for me that I was like, that's why I felt like the book of Season of the Deep, while it had like 3 empty parts, I do feel like they closed the book well to me. And again, everybody's going to have different takes and stuff like that. Could they have done other things? But I was like, the discussion between like, that is exactly, I'm like, all right. And this Season of the Deep week 6 ends. And I'm like, and now I am looking directly into week 1, season 22. Like it just is, I know exactly what's going to happen. Absolutely. In that story, or like what needs to happen. And then it's like, and I know a lot of the characters that are going to be there. Some are happy, some are not, some know it's a need, all those other things, no, like that. So I thought as a finale, and that was literally why I put up a video, take it or leave it. I was like, season or finale done right.
Yes.
And that was kind of where I landed on it. I know not everybody's going to agree, but that was kind of where I landed. I had a discussion with Prescott about it, actually, and he had some definitely differing thoughts on it. But it's like, from a writer's perspective, I totally understand it.
Yes.
Because part of his was saying that you have discussions between Sloan and Drifter and other things, like what's going on. It's like, it is kind of the very obvious, like, we kind of figure tomorrow's out there.
Right.
Savathun's not dead. All those kind of things are getting into it. But it's like, then you have like the Drifter talking about certain things. Could we do more with him or more other places? There could always be more development. And I get that. And that's why I was like, I wanted to say, it's like, he had a lot of good points when it comes to what I wish the stories could be. Right. But also, that's where I wonder, it's like what I wish they could be versus what I perceive as possible capacity of like the seasonal team. That's kind of where it's like, it's hard because then you have to, and then you're sitting there like, okay, you have kind of a cool story, but then you have to tie it into like some activity. And now we're like deep diving for this egregore coral. So you've got to have like somehow you got to tie all these pieces. I can't just like write a story. Somebody could write a story and then be like, all right, we kind of have to change things to fit it into a game. So it's like nobody's ever going to win all the battles. And it's like, you could definitely go in so many different ways with the story. I just thought when I got done, I was like, you know what? I know exactly what next season is. And I feel kind of good about this one. That was where I landed. So what about you?
Yeah. No, listen.
If I didn't steal all the thunder, hopefully.
No, you're in your bag. I loved it because it was very, very similar to how I felt. The season has had its ups and downs as far as, I like the seasonal activity. I like the deep dives, but certain things I felt dragged on. And I felt in the middle of the season, it definitely did drag. There's no question. But the last 2 weeks, really started to cultivate for me that they are starting to cultivate this story and getting it back on track as far as, what we learned about the Witness. But this week was special for me because, all right, first we start off what? Asa's in trouble, right? So I love the energy off the rip. Zavala's like, all hands on deck. Here's a specific plan. We're the diversion. The Guardian goes in there. Satan's. I love that energy. It felt very Red War-y. It felt very Taken King-y. I like that energy when it like the stakes seemed high and it was going down. So we get there. We do all we have to do, protect Asa, so to speak. Okay, fine. Then Sloane has her moment, right? Where, obviously Xivu is still tremendously influencing. She has that moment where it looked like it was going down
like,
with Zavala. Well, and Zavala still trusted her not to react. She brought it back in. She internalized that. Okay, cool. For me, this is what I was here for. The lead up. We all know the elephant in the room is Savathun. And in some way, how are they going to tie this in? And to learn, okay, this is a necessary evil. Some of my best comic books, movies, are when you got to work with the enemy. I think it's always fun. Like when you got to sit there, you like, we going to do what? You see, because you saw Salad, he was like, what? We going to do what?
Yeah.
And Say 14 gets the award of the show. Day 14 was like, we're not doing any of that. Are you crazy? And then here's Zavala, who is normally the person who is against doing obscure things, right? We usually leave that for Osiris, who always bends the rules and does things that's outside of the playbook to get the job done. But Zavala was like, yo, we have to do this. You know what I'm saying? And, I think it was a really powerful moment to set up what we know is going to happen. All right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have her under control. We know damn well they ain't going to be able to probably control Savathun. But I just like the idea that they know they have to, in order to move forward, in order to stop the Witness, we have to work with her. I love that twist. It's awesome. And yeah, it's just really cool. Obviously on some side notes, we did hear that, these are the last lines for Casbah as far as Lance Reddick. But what I did hear is that it's not necessarily in order, that some of the final shape stuff may have been already done, is what I've heard. And that the seasonal stuff, sometimes because I guess it's so fluid, sometimes that's actually done later. So we'll see about that. I thought it was cool. I thought it was really cool. My only issue has nothing to do with the seasonal story at this point, is more than I have a bone to pick with the fishing mechanics. I really have a bone, because it's like Bungie, bro. Like, I love y'all, but it's like this is the most grindy mechanic for something that's supposed to be fun, relaxing. Then you got a public event that interrupts the grind, right? Then when you do the public event, you get no reward for that. Then the focus fishing, you get no real tangible reward. Like, I don't see more legendaries and exotics drop when the focus fishing is at its top and it's supposed to be a frenzy kind of thing. So anyway, I've done the 2 weeks of the broken sword thing that I delivered to. So clearly this is leading to some type of exotic.
Exotic quest next week. Yeah.
But do we know what type of weapon they data behind the weapon?
Okay, fine. Spoiler alert, everybody. 5, 4,
spoiler alert.
3,
I want to know why I'm doing all this.
Stasis scout rifle.
Ooh, I gotta see the properties. Okay, Stasis Scout. Okay. Because my thing is, bro, it's just too long a grind for that, bro. Like, they made something that's supposed to be really fun and enjoyable extremely grindy.
Oh, I saw it stated very well. It's like, you put in fishing, I can be indifferent to fishing. If you make me fish, I'm gonna hate fishing.
Yeah,
it's like, that's kind of the issue with fishing right now. Is one, it's RNG. I could log in and get the fish in 5 minutes for the quest next week when I got to go make a guide, or I could be stuck there for an hour when people are like posting it up already, and I'm like, well, damn it. So it's like, it's RNG related. Not everybody's going to enjoy the activity. And then you got to go, for somebody who hasn't done it, I'm going to put out a guide and be like, all right, so you got to go to the Throne World to catch that exotic fish, but not that axe head. Then you got to go to Nessus and catch the exotic fish, but make sure it's not the axe head as well. And then also go to EDZ next week. And next week is the only week I think they're going to make the fish dropping double exotic rate next week. But I'm like, you're not going to have that the whole time?
Yeah, like why and why
They're
isn't the
afraid of like exotic fishing being too rewarding. I'm like,
bro? It's like Bungie. Y'all got to stop with this purposeful hand holding and limiting fun. It's
well,
like
it's like
let us rock out.
when you go play Diablo, it's like sacred, 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 like legendaries. And I'm like, I'm swimming in this, and I still delete a lot
I
of it.
don't know.
I was like,
Yeah.
and you still delete or salvage or break down a lot of it. So it's like, just because you give me an exotic, 99 out of 100 still may be shitty rolls. They might, because I got my, because I was talking to Travis, and it was, I'm going to go get the Arbor Warden or whatever the new exotic chess piece was from the moon. I'm like, all right, I'm going to go do some of those because I needed to do some.
Mhm.
I'll get back to my other frustration, but I needed to do some Master Exotic Lost Sectors. And I'm like, okay, it's
Yes.
for ranks.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, working on those. I did get it to drop 2 resilience. I'm like, everything, and then like 18 mobility. I'm like, okay, no, I'm a Titan. 2 resilience is just not going to work if I ever want to consider it. So I got it, but it doesn't matter. And again, I don't know when the next time I'm going to see that damn exotic is.
Bro, at
So
this point, I just walk around with the ghost modules that influence the stats I want. I just permanently keep it on to try to like it's like RNG protection for me
for
to
what?
try to influence the role. You know, the in the
Oh, the
ghost
ghost.
mod,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, you can influence
Yeah.
resilience, and
I have
that's
it
what.
on discipline because that's a very helpful stat. And then if I
Mhm,
do get the resilience and recovery, like a decent split, I
mhm,
know discipline's high. Because if it's like resilience,
mhm.
recovery, and intellect's all the way out there,
Yeah,
I'm like, well, that's not great because intellect is mostly useless anymore, which isn't
bro. No, I
helpful
feel
for a
you.
lot of people.
I,
So that's
I,
kind of why. But I believe me, it's like I debate that half the time when I get a non-resilience roll. I'm like,
I know you got like, damn, I need that resilience. I want to backtrack a minute though. Back to Ghosts of the Deep, the dungeon. You're the dungeon guy. You're
yeah,
the guy. So like I'm trying not to be a prisoner of the moment, E, but like I really like this dungeon. Like I really like. So I don't know because being that I've been able to avoid spoilers, avoid all the talk. What's the community like with the ranking? What are people feeling?
pretty damn
How are
high.
you? Okay, and then how are you feel? So what? Before I get to you, everyone's like, so they are in agreement
Yeah,
with
no,
me
I've
that it's a
heard
top.
generally
Okay,
just the stuff that I'd seen over the weeks is like generally a pretty solid dungeon. Some people don't like the underwater section, feel like it's too long.
okay,
But I
fair enough,
think
fair enough.
in general, as I think pretty much my feedback would probably fit a lot of people. Opening
Okay,
encounter, a little too long. Don't need to do
okay,
it 4 times.
okay.
Because you got to go through the rotation
Yeah,
four
to the
times.
rotation for.
Going through the water could be shorter.
Okay,
And
fair.
then,
That's fair.
but like the boss
Bro.
fights, the thematic nature, all that other stuff, great.
Lore,
Yeah.
Oryx Grave.
Yeah. Lore. Yeah, exactly. So it's like a lot of very good things. I mean, for me,
Mhm.
it's probably my number one right now.
Ooh, wait, so it beat you had Prophecy or your classic favorite of all time, your very first one?
Oh, like Shattered? No, I would say
Yeah.
Prophecy was probably one, just because the
Mhm,
unique nature, a lot of different things. Shadow Throne's probably a sweet spot.
mhm.
Grasp is damn near the bottom for me right
Yeah,
now.
Grass probably at the bottom. Where do you
Spire
have
is God, that's a
Yeah.
weird one.
I'm actually curious about where you have Duality.
Oh God, it's been a while since I've done
It's
that
been
one
a
too.
while, right? Yeah,
I
where do
forget
you
we
have
have this mini now because like the
Mhm.
list has grown a bit.
The list has grown since we last done our dungeon rankings. We haven't done this is definitely Flashpoint talk. We used to do these rankings all the
Yeah.
time. Mhm,
Okay, so you got Shattered Throne, Pit of
mhm.
Heresy,
Bit of a
Prophecy, Grasp,
Prophecy. Mhm,
Duality, Spire, Ghosts.
mhm.
All right.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Uh, I mean, lore-wise, Duality definitely is cool because you got the
It is
Callus
cool.
pieces
Oh,
going back
yeah.
and forth.
My shining
Mechanics are
star.
interesting.
The inside out kind of small, what you call it, kind of vibe. Stranger Things kind of
Yeah, I
vibe.
mean, flipping the two was it's more the fact that that one had been broken for so long for so many people. I think
Mhm.
that's why it's kind of hated because so
Okay.
many things are breaking and glitches and getting error codes and that
Hey,
type of stuff.
I got my artifice armor from that
Yeah, I
dungeon.
mean, yeah, I got some from there too. You're not wrong. It was broken in a good way for a little
The
while.
Strand debut, we were just hatching on the rockets and skipping parts.
Yeah. Um,
Uh,
that's
it's
one of
tough.
like it's like from Grasp onward, it's weird because
Mhm.
that's when the health pool started to balloon. And as a
Yes.
solo player, the ogre and Grasp just kills me.
Yeah.
Just there are certain builds, but they gotta have this. Like for the average player, if they want to do some of these things solo, it's too damn long on a lot of these. So that's probably where you say Grasp is your favorite.
Wow.
Where is it for you? Am I the one just crapping all over Grasp, or am I missing something?
Listen, Grasp is a fun
one time
in the moment.
One time.
Right.
It's fun once.
It's a funny one joke.
You play it,
but someone keeps telling that joke over and over. It's like I'm good. You know,
yeah. The opening section when you get the little traps and stuff, and then the Sparrow race where you can possibly die. Like, I think it's because I spent enough time in there, and the middle section kills it.
Kills me.
The bomb
hate
thing.
The boss. I don't like the boss in Grasp.
No,
I hate it. I hate the flying around, teleporting.
It's a lot of setup.
Yeah,
it's generally a lot of setup for me, and I think that's why the end of Ghost is a bit long. I get the mechanics, and I'm kind of okay, but when I do 6 damage phases, I don't need to. So the pacing of the end of Ghosts I thought was better. Because you go in the other room and you got this one, you got the little bit of chaos that side, then you kind of go through the water and you got your little encounter, you got to figure out which one you're going to do where. And for me, I got to go in one and I'm like, okay, is this the current of the if it is, I got to come back later because I'm not picking that one up first.
Right.
I got to go. So for me, it's like, I got to go check 4 rooms and stuff like that. So it's so long, but if you just go kind of like encounter and I'm trying to think. So like Prophecy is pretty damn high. So where do I slot in? Grasp is bottom.
Grasp is bottom.
Grasp just lives at the bottom. I'm sorry, it is fun once, but I'm out.
Shall we say Pit of Heresy has fell out of love for everyone?
I still have a decent spot for Pit of Heresy. I don't hate that one like a lot of people do.
That's what we got Xenophage from Pit, right?
Yep. And I've loved that gun.
That gun is still,
Prophecy is bottom.
Block this man.
We definitely disagree on some things, Rook, and that is one of them.
Oh man, Prophecy is fire.
Some people hate the cube room. They think it's too, and that's an encounter that you could say is too long. And it probably is 1 or 2 too long. But I think the nature of the cube room is much more unique than, say, the opening encounter of Ghosts or something. So it's like, yeah, that'd be hard to
hard.
Like, because I'm trying to think through duality because you've got
first section.
Yeah, you got the first section. You got kind of your downside. You got the 2, 2, and 2, and the bosses that come with each one of those.
And you got to put the marks down. You do the thing.
Like Galaron is. There's a lot of that's kind of the difference of. I find it hilarious that touching the water and grass kills you, but submerging yourself in liquid methane saves your life.
I know.
Fair point. Yeah, no, it's totally true.
What's probably a good point? Adolfo, he's like, loot should factor into the debate. He said Grasp has no redeemable weapons outside of Matter.
Oh yeah, that's the thing is as soon as I got done with my solo Flawless and Grasp, I mean, I'd already made my Galahorn guide. That's the only reason Grasp might be there, but Galahorn shouldn't be stuck behind a paywall dungeon. But you take Galahorn out of there, I don't want anything because I don't really care too much about a PvP shotgun, so I really don't care. I would say Duality has some decent loot. You got the pretty good SMG. You've got the grenade launcher. And again, I don't even think about loot that much because Prophecy, Duality. Pit of Heresy.
Duality has some good loot.
Shattered Throne. Duality has definitely some good loot. Grasp loot is not good. Duality is pretty good. Spire.
They had the Tex Mechanica stuff.
Yeah, it's you got the dual grenade launcher, which I never found a great use for. The double shot. You've got another one of those Dead Man's Tale legendaries, which I don't seem to love, but the heavy is probably good, but I don't think I ever got one. So it's
I actually got the God roll on it, which is rapid hit volt shot.
Spire has rapid hit volt shot for you're good if you got that.
I'm good. I don't ever have to do that again.
The bow's pretty good. I think ease of use, Ticuu's is still better.
Yes.
Than Hierarchy of Needs. Rook is saying Ghost is better than Pit, is better than Shattered Throne, is better than Spire, Duality, Grasp, Prophecy. Strictly based on encounters and not loot. I cannot put Prophecy that low.
Yeah, he's wild. And the final boss, first of all,
Duality, Spire, Shattered, Ghost. I mean, at least we agree on Ghost. Ghost is my number 1 right now. Just
Ghost right now.
Thematic, lore, encounters, weapons, Armor set, by the way. Got an armor set. I know that gives it like a bonus because we don't always get those.
That's good. And that I got the that perk with the rocket where
Get
you
like
can
bipod or
yeah, I didn't get that. I got like an explosive light, but just the origin perks with these weapons with the emergency reload that have the
oh
extra,
yeah.
oh, that perk is serious. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't get nothing too great in it. And then what's the exotic? Is it what's the exotic with it?
That's the navigator. That's the strand trace rifle. That one's got some potential. As long as it works as it is now, like if you sever a target, it also seems to give you woven mail, which may be a bug.
What I could use it with that wild warlock helmet that looked crazy.
Yeah,
That when you use chase weapons,
giant,
and then it
ship.
gives heavy for everybody.
Yeah.
It's like a boat. That thing. Oh, okay.
See, my brother's the same way. He hates Shadow Throne because of the black and white. It's just like depending on if you've got like stigmatism or if you've got any vision things, that place is kind of hard to see in. So I was like, I totally get that.
It's tough, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like if I take just the encounters without like ballooned boss health from like grasp onwards, if I take that out,
Yes.
like that would be probably a different discussion than just how do they sit right now? Because I can one phase Shattered Throne and it's going to take me 6 on Ghost.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would honestly have to think through this. I don't know if I can wing it.
Yeah, I mean, in the moment, I'm gonna say Ghost is number 1. 2 is hard for me because I have a soft spot. I mean, no, 2 is Prophecy because Prophecy was my number 1 prior. So Prophecy. Now 3 is where it gets hard for me
Yeah,
because
3 is hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I do have a soft spot for duality a lot. I really like duality. I like the encounters. I like the lore about
Lore's really good in there because like
lore's really good. Yeah, between Caiatl and Callus. No, it's no disrespect. I guess the bottom ones for me is probably gonna be definitely Grasp. Not Pit. Was it terrible? I can't do that to Pit. I have
Pit is
Spire
basically
probably.
like Shattered Throne 1.1.
Yeah.
Because you have similar encounters because you have like the map in the map or symbols and symbols. I mean, then you have like the descent or whatever through, and then you have the ogre encounter. Then you have the ogre fight, and then you have the crazy little room of chaos.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Hold on, Prescott. He said anything good beside and goes. Yeah, legendary. As far as the they got a wave frame stasis.
Waveframe stasis is okay.
Yeah, the what you call it is better. The SMG
is solar. It can be
solar.
It can replace like Callus mini tool, especially if you don't have it. It's definitely worth going after.
The
The rocket launcher can get like bipod, envious assassin. You could have like 4 or 5 rockets depending on how much you load it up. Bipod does take down the damage, so it's kind of a toss up. But you can get envious on a rocket. Like if you got envious and explosives light,
oh my!
See, that's probably where you're going to be like flirting with top DPS.
Right, and that I have the I didn't get the god roll with that SMG, but it could be better than mini too. If you get an incandescent, and again you get it in conjunction with that reload, that origin perk where you get an emergency reload for either reviving someone or finishing an enemy.
Yeah,
that is a powerful perk. Like, yeah, I have to be like that. Those weapons are really good. I really want that stasis wave frame though badly. I'm a wave frame guy. I just wish it had like chill clip on it, something crazy.
Does it not?
I don't know. I looked at Demon Joe video. I looked at Demon. I think Demon Joe had the perk pool. We could pull it up.
What's anybody know the name of that damn thing?
Yeah, we got to go to Dim. I mean, like GG.
Give me the name because I'm on D2 Foundry.
Yeah, let me see. So, like GG, we got new dungeon weapons. Yeah, no chill clip on it. Okay, it is called New Pacific Epitaph. Long ass thing. Yeah, New Pacific.
Does have chill clip?
Wait, it has chill? Oh, kill clip. No, it has kill clip.
Oh, damn.
Kill clip. You don't get me gas.
All right.
Ooh, you would have got me excited. You know what I'm saying? But it does have
that may be why looking at that one it was only okay because you got like
redirection.
I mean redirection is like damaging rank and file increases damage against more powerful, but like I mean you could go demo adrenaline junkie. You could have a little fun with that pairing.
Action might be low key. I mean, what? Because that you get a stasis shard. No, but you only get those if you kill like a stasis crystal. Yes, you'd have to like
Yeah, I
all
think the
out.
rocket launcher is probably the best thing from
The rock's
there.
probably the best. Yeah, the rock's
Yeah.
probably. I just want it in the kinetic flight because I do think redirection. I'm probably gonna go with demolitionist and redirection. And these are not craftable, so you gotta just rerun it. And we could farm it, right? We could continue just farm it,
Yeah,
farm
you
it,
can
farm
go
it.
over and over and over. Yep.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Don't forget
And
the
I just
bonus
gotta
chest.
right, and I just gotta remember. I did get the bonus joint. I just gotta remember. Um, I need to know what's the loot pool per encounter
Oh,
because I
there's an
want to.
image somewhere. Yeah, I'd have to look it
Yeah,
up.
is the necromancer witch? Does she have the whole pool,
I don't
or
know. I would have to look. I
I
literally
need
would.
to know
So
that I need to know about doing my
you just
business.
probably could Google that and it'd be there in no time. But
And
yeah.
which goes not that bad. I got the glaive. It's actually not that bad. It's a new archetype glaive.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a solar new archetype grave,
Oh, that's
and
right.
yeah, it shoots a little fast, whatever. But I want to get the thing. But other than that, yeah, we'll revisit. For now, I know my top three. Like I said,
Yeah.
it's Ghost, then it's Prophecy, and then I probably have Duality third, and then in the mix there, I probably have Shattered Throne in the mix. But
Yeah,
towards the bottom, I didn't really like Fire either.
didn't
I
like
didn't really-
Spire.
it's not the worst, but it's towards the bottom for me.
You have spent so much time in all of these just going for solo flawless attempts. Like
Mm.
it's a different way for me to think about some of these things because how they've been and the pain you go through and yeah.
Mm. I feel you. I
Uh
feel you.
I like the final boss room in Spire
Mhm.
just because it's like it doesn't take too
Oh, with
long.
the containment fields
Yep.
and the thing running around. It is a
Yeah.
cool fight.
The top less so because it is
Yes,
the garden
hated
boss.
that. Bro, they reused the boss. That disgusted me when I saw that boss. I was like,
So
why?
yeah, it was like not even a mechanic change with the eyes or anything. So it was like, okay. But yeah, the final room I did like. I would almost see it'd be really interesting if you did a tier list, but you did it with
Mm,
every encounter.
counter. All right, I'm with you there. I'm with you there.
That'd be a more interesting one because I could put the Spire final boss fight probably like an A. I don't know if it's S tier, but it's an A. Like there's that encounter is cool. But
I
yeah, the
love that.
top one, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, you're
Oh,
on top of a crazy Spire, but it's just the whole
Mhm.
setup for it. I've just yeah.
I mean, for what is I love Prophecy's battle where you have to keep hopping from platform to platform.
Yeah, I mean the fact that you got to move on a boss on that one.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Music was great. Shadow Throne is up there, you know. Shadow Throne, it was fun. You had to do it in a specific
Battlegrounds the
sequence.
OG. No, the ogre room for sure. You got to kind of set it
Yeah.
up, and then I mean, you can nuke the ogre almost as a solo player now. But yeah, I was like, it's an interesting discussion. But dungeons have definitely been some of the more consistent. They just need to work on scaling for me for a solo player because that's the thing. Like Deep Dive has a private option,
Mhm.
which is the fact that it's there. You could probably say that scaling could be there too. Legend Salvage should have matchmaking. That's just my hard and fast opinion. But if you're going to put triumphs in for solo and they can help get you a better chance at the exotic drop, you're giving incentive for people to do this thing solo and you don't
Mhm.
scale the health. That's kind of where I
agree.
have the issue because like if I do the encounter or if I do a boss phase 4 times versus 6, I get it. I
Yeah.
don't need to do that much more. That's why I was like a third felt reasonable. If like somebody's crazy, they might be able to 2-phase it, but
Mhm.
probably not 1-phase it solo. A team might be able to 1-phase, probably closer to 2. So like depends on the craziness of your team, but I'm like, if you do 1-phase it, good for you. Like, I don't know.
What was the heavy
Or
again?
just scale it. That's the other thing. Scale it with
What was
multiple
the
people. What?
for a solo player? What was the heavy you were using? I'm just curious for your DPS on the
Which?
on ghosts.
Oh,
On
Ekthar, the knight, it was a sword full time.
okay, and then I meant to say for the necromancer, the final encounter.
Oh, Taipan. I used the linear.
Really old school Taipan? Even though I got nerf, you ain't using aggressive. You ain't even using the better ones.
I don't have a great aggressive one.
Oh,
I
you
never
have a good.
don't have a good one.
You
Because
don't
that's
got
a
the
duality one, right?
yeah. Well, state Storm Chaser for duality,
Yep.
but the craftable one from Season of the Plunder, it's good. It's an aggressive.
it's
It can run with Vice Stinger on it, and
Taipan
it's
has Vice Stinger.
yeah, but it's not an aggressive though. What's your role on it? What's your role in your Taipan?
Focused Fury and Triple Tap. So
Mm,
as a solo player, Focused Fury, if I get the extension on the magazine, then that's up for like 10 seconds.
Right.
So it's just like it's the best one for.
Okay. You could get Focus Fury on the aggressive Stasis joint.
You probably. I was like, I don't know. For me, the triple
Actually,
fire, maybe it hits harder, but like, I also feel like I'm gonna miss one of those bursts.
Fire and Forget. That's what it's called.
Fire and Forget. Okay.
Yeah, check that out. But I know what you mean from a stability standpoint.
Yeah.
It moves, but
Right.
it hits like
It might, but I'm like, though, especially if she's far away and moving around, I want those shots to count.
I feel
So,
you want the precision.
Yeah.
You're going for the thing.
I just want something steady. Sail Spy, probably not.
Yeah, no, I got you. No doubt.
Yeah. So no, Ghost is a solid dungeon. Again,
Yes.
one other reason why I feel like you don't need to make the
Mm.
cost of the dungeon key and the separation from the season and all of that stuff. Like, there are people who are going to miss this or just be so frustrated, and then they miss it that way.
Mhm.
It sucks when a dungeon is that good and people may miss it, not see it, or get annoyed and not actually engage with it. And that's, I think, when the seasons are pretty good, but the dungeon makes them that much better.
Yep.
I feel like it definitely shoots some of the seasons in the foot when you like it's not tied in, and thematically it's right there too. Yo, what's up? What up, Aries? How you doing?
What's up, Aries? What's going on, bro? Long time.
So yeah, that's just my big thing. Is it's cool. I like just scale it down, and then just kind of take some of those walls down for engagement. But yeah, we beat pricing to death last week. So
yeah, I will say though, like now that I've done the Ghost of the Deep Dungeon finally, it did raise up this season for me. It did like significantly without having that done, and I was just doing the story content and stuff like that. It was significantly lower, and then combined, I got to be honest, I'm with you. Like combined with the way the season ended, narratively, that was a nice cherry on the sundae to lead into where we know the story is going to go, and I felt good about it. Now, during the middle of it, I felt it dragged on the week to week Sloan conniption. Okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I love that, and I always am a fan of all of them. Saladin, Saint,
I know. More of that all the time. More of that, seriously.
That all the time. Let's really utilize these voice actors and actresses, and I think it was a nice send off. So yeah, shout out there. It was a great week to end. And let's go about the elephant in the room for me. How the hell is Osiris gonna feel about this?
Oh, I mean,
it's gonna be interesting.
I am very curious how he eventually kind of like settles in. I know Saint will get him riled up, but Osiris has also been around the block. He's almost been dead. Like he's seen so much. Like I don't know if he can get quite as worked up.
True.
I think it's going to be more of like, I don't want to say mutual respect from a very smart person, a very clever person talking to each other. Like Osiris and Savathun sit down and have a discussion at a table. I can see that discussion being like on a knife's edge of civil, but also just like backstabby at the same time. But I'd like just those two like having a chat or like sharing a beer or something. I think is hilarious in my mind just because of like, for one, they've shared a mind, so they got that already going on.
Oh yeah,
it'd be interesting.
I agree with Presage. I think surprisingly Osiris is going to be more diplomatic than we think, and I think it's Saint who's the pit bull, like you know what I mean?
Like you gotta have the yin and the yang, so you gotta have
both, I think that the interesting thing to me though is also going to be Ikora. I want to get I'm a little harder on them with the Ikora use this lately. I thought we got the new voice actress, so I thought
she did good.
Like she did good, but I'm saying like even after this dungeon, right? We had to read through text from Hawthorne about how Ikora felt, right?
Yeah.
Want them just to get. I feel like she's not in the mix only for like a big expansion. You don't feel that about Ikora?
I mean, like that's like they kind of have their moments where they save her and they kind of go through the rotation and stuff. But yeah, underutilized. I mean, I would say for sure, just because the character should be in the mix, being one of the two Vanguard. I mean,
exactly.
I'm with you. I'm with you, but
we know we're going to get her for finals. And the reason why I'm really stressing.
I mean, next season feels like if she's not in the mix, like she should be. So
So is that
Cowboy hat fair?
I'm a block press. I can't with you. That was hilarious. That's
right.
That was
that's
Travis line.
That's a comment. Yeah, you just brought the Travis to the show. Yep, there you go.
Travis would have definitely mentioned that on the show and got eaten by the time. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, like because we don't know where Lance Reddick's, thing started and ended.
It ended
Right?
now.
So
This was his last
this
line.
was his last line. But from what I heard, Final Shape may have been done already from him because I heard from expansions and some of that stuff that's kind
I
of
mean,
done.
maybe, but
Maybe.
yeah.
So now the question happens:
You got to
recast?
recast him. I think you have to. I think
Yeah.
his character is too pivotal to the story that you can't just like write him out of it, especially as they've been working on some of this stuff for so long. Whether it's recorded or not, the trajectory of the story, it feels like he's too crucial of a piece, especially if Cade comes back and you have your 3 Vanguard. He has
Yeah.
to be there. Now, is it going to feel weird without the right voice in there? Yes, but I
Of
still
course.
have to know what they wanted that story to be told. So I think you do have to recast whatever was not finished, whatever they still have to record, or if they do have to record Final Shape, whatever it is, I feel like you have to. I
I
mean,
agree.
and it's not to do disservice to Lance. I think it's to finish the story.
Right. And Lance's wife, I would assume, would want Zavala to continue, what you call to continue. I also think that we've had examples. Cade was recast at one point, right?
Yeah.
When what you call Anna Bray was recast. Ikora was recast.
Yeah, a lot of them have been. Yeah.
A lot of them have recast. It's actually a few of them that it's like now we get to the point where it's very few that has actually remained in the
Yeah.
role, so to speak. I know Osiris has been consistent and obviously what you call it, prior to that. But
Saint,
yeah,
Drifter, a couple of those have, but yeah, I mean there's probably just as many have switched as have stayed. It's quite a bit has
I am super hype for what's her name? Deborah Green for
Deborah
Sabathun?
Wilson.
Deborah Wilson. Oh,
Oh, to have her back?
Oh
No, now here's the question, and I was waiting on this one.
Oh, go.
Say you have a 5, 6, 7 week story. What week do we actually get to talk to Sabathun? When do we actually get to resurrect that lady? Or is it, as Prescott said, the how long is the res timer for Sabathun?
Oh, bro,
how many weeks? How many weeks?
That's a 5-week crystal. And you know how they gonna do? We're getting the seance. Tune in next week to see where we are with the seance.
The seance is a little closer now. Tune in next week. We're almost there. Tune in next week. All right.
This Sabathun resurrection so hard. It's gonna be literally the same way like it was with Homegirl when we were doing her seance to get Sabathun out.
Morn? No,
No,
Marisov. Yeah.
Marisol. Yeah, they gonna milk this. So, bro, Sabathun coming back. I just need to hear Deborah Wilson's voice.
Oh no, the fact that she's coming. Yeah.
Oh, she's gonna be lit.
But yeah, that's the thing though. She's like, is she gonna have like 1 week worth of lines?
Nah, she got to be. Come on, she got to. Well, no, you might be right. No, you're right. Because she's not good. She got to be resurrected first.
Yeah.
So they're gonna milk the resurrection.
Yep.
We're gonna get. I'm with Austin. We're gonna get a lot of Imaru.
Yeah.
Remember, every time we go to the Witch Queen, the throne room, we always hear him on the comms.
Yeah. We have Sabathun's body.
Right.
So I was listening to one of those Bylan. I just put them together. Bye for Mylan. Bylan. That is the Destiny lore community right there. The Bylan community. Yeah.
The Lord Daddies.
So apparently, what is it? Ikora's hidden have Sabathun's body in hiding or something like that. And then and it's also because Amaru is out there, so it's like gonna have to combination. Like we have to have a discussion with Amaru. I feel like Finch is gonna be a little bit involved in that because Finch is still kind of hanging out. He's the NPC. A little bit of Finch. Definitely got to chat with Amaru. Got to convince Amaru, but also it's like, are we gonna have to do something? Are we gonna have to go around and do certain things to like convince Amaru to then turn around and be like, all right, now you got to res Sabathun? He's like, why the hell would I do that? Or why the hell have you been keeping her body from me? One or the other. He's either going to enjoy his kind of freedom and power and not want to be like tied to Sabathun, or
think so.
I don't know. We never get much of a read on him, so I will be curious how they kind of flesh out his character. So I want them to give him at least a couple of weeks. But yeah, I mean, if it's a 6-7 week season, I know that resurrection is going to happen on 5 or 6. Like that's the climax. That's the big event of the season.
Let's guess the players, because each season has about 2 to 3
Ikora?
major. So Ikora's going to be running chief? Who's going to run chief?
Ikora, Ikora's got to be involved. If her hidden or holding the body, she has to be involved to be like, Ikora and Zavala chat with her, be like, what the hell do you want? No.
Ikora, I agree.
Somebody's got to have that conversation with Ikora, and it could be Osiris. Osiris and Ikora could actually have a chat as Warlock to Warlock.
Oh, I'm still waiting for my
That,
Ikora and Osiris
that
season.
this could be a time.
Never seen them
That
together.
actually, because Osiris is going to probably have to be like, Ikora's going to be like, hell no. And Osiris, having already been through all of this crap, might have to be the one who has a perspective to maybe be able to tell her. Like,
I agree. And he may say, look, I know she stole from me, but I know how she thinks. You need me. And remember, Ikora's been on some protecting frail granddad mode with him, right? He's frail granddad. He don't got no ghosts. We can't endanger you about this operation. And he's trying to build trust again. That's gonna, I would love personally if it's Ikora, Osiris.
I want a really good Ikora Osiris. I don't know if we'll get the cutscene, but at a minimum, we have to get the discussion between the two of them on the like answering machine.
Yes,
because some of those actually are some of my favorite dialogue moments when we get those two back and forth. So it's like I'd love to see it in like standing in front of us like the end of this season was, and like walk into, you know, Ikora's part of the tower or wherever the hell Osiris is going to be hanging out. Like have that discussion, but at a minimum on the voicemail, I want those two voice actors to just like be real. I want to hear that.
Yes, I agree. Shout out to what you call it, Rook. He says Ikora, Imaru, Finch, and Osiris. Because we gotta have a parlay first. We have to have a parlay.
Finch has to go. Finch has to like somehow talk in to get to Amaru. So that has to happen. That's fair.
It has to happen. He has to set up the parlay, and there has to be that meeting with Ikora. And I think Ikora definitely is at that meeting. I don't know if Osiris is at the meeting, but I know Ikora's
the one holding the bag per se. Ikora's the one holding on to the body.
Ooh, Austinator says Eris. Maybe we're forgetting about Eris.
I don't know if she plays into this at all. She is Hive, but I was like, I think this is more Light and Traveler and all that stuff as opposed to Hive. I don't know where Eris fits in this one. I could see Eris fitting more in like whatever oddball season they put in 23. I feel like this one, I can see Savathun being rezzed, explaining how do we get to the portal? What do you do in 23? Like, what is that little gap fill situation? Maybe there's some weird ass thing, but let's see. I think I've said all the cuss words today. That's all 3. Cool. I got them all. Check the boxes. I got to mark this podcast mature, guys. Sorry in advance.
Yeah, let's get it all. It's gonna be. I'm excited for that. I love the way they ended it, and this is now we getting back on track to getting this story to where it needs to be.
Prescott is like backup chatter for Eris. That I would say an interesting See, there's a couple characters I wish we could just be like. I wish the narrative team could somehow have the time, which I know they don't, but be like, what 2 characters would you love to see have beers? Or just have a drink, sit down, share a cocktail, and just chat. That you don't think like what for one, how the hell how's the conversation going to go? But I want to know what are your characters that you think would be like the most interesting to see chat?
Already got it off top. Crow and Cade.
Who?
Crow and Cade.
Oh fuck. Yeah, that does kind of win the argument. There you go. Yeah.
Bro, that's all. Everyone has forgotten Crow right now.
No, I know. Yeah, he's sitting.
I walk past the time, he got sad boy energy. He don't even have a button to click over his name anymore. No. I'm like, dang, look how quickly the boys.
I forgot about that. Crow with a beard.
Crow, what is gonna happen to Crow? He is forgettable, but we got to hold me back. But
it's gonna be he also knows what he did too. So he's like, dude, I am sorry.
What is that conversation going?
That's a good one. I was going a little more like just characters that don't generally end up interacting. I was actually curious, like how an Eris and an Osiris chat would go.
They've had brief interactions.
I don't remember one. That's why I'm trying to think.
It's always like over calm dialogue in a mission. Very brief, but you're right. It's rare. It's very rare, to your point, because I know everything else.
It's like very different perspectives. That's why I was like, just kind of odd ones out there. Because you'd be like, you know, like Zaval and Anna would be like father and daughter type. Yeah. Like, I mean, that's kind of.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I was like, who would be the weirdest person for Mara to chat with?
Oh, Prescott is saying what I'm about to say.
Crow. I mean, outside of Crow,
Checks. Hey now, hey girl.
Oh god.
Hey girl.
Hey girl. Hey.
One horn for you.
Oh my gosh. Never take the helmet off, man. Never take the helmet off.
Take the helmet off. Well, look.
Yeah, Drifter and Moondust is always like that's just gonna be fun. Moondust is just gonna bust his balls the whole time, though. That's the thing about Eris and Drifter. Drifter like kind of talks his way out of everything. Eris just calls him on all of it,
Every-
and it is great.
He said rat. I like when she says that. Oh, yeah. Why doesn't Shax get any play, though? I think it's because of the actor. He's too high profile.
Yeah.
James is just way too high profile.
Yeah, it's probably just that, and yeah, like they got what they did out of him, and it's like maybe a little bit here and there, but a full story piece around him, unless he has some big thing in Final Shape.
I agree. Because Shax just really feels like a side character. He doesn't really feel like a main part of the story.
So if we have to resurrect Savathun, it's going to take 4 weeks to get the preparations ready. The 5th week we're going to resurrect her. 6th week we might actually have a little bit of a thing going into whatever 23 is, and there you go.
There you go. And that's how we set this thing up. And if we get
now,
ready,
I wish, because I enjoy Deborah Wilson's like voice lines and everything, I wish we got her in like week 2, and then we're like working stuff out with her or something. But I'm like,
they're saving her for Final Shape.
I know.
She's
got to go back and forth with Zivu. Like that's yeah.
Can we give Zivu some props though?
No, the actress is doing great.
Yeah, for all these years, I was just like, yo, remember we were like, yo, what they doing with her? We don't really hear about it.
The dungeon, and that's another reason why the dungeon is like, if you miss out on everything in the dungeon, you are missing a lot of this character right now.
Which is what I was in. I was in the dark for all. You guys had all the information. I'm in the dark. So this season was really low for me until I did this dungeon. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. Now, but to your point, think about where you're absolutely on the money. Think about the new light.
Yeah.
Ain't doing the dungeon, who don't got any of this context. Like this story is for the most part to that person.
Yeah, that's
yeah. I'm with you. Shax was forgotten like Shax was forgotten like PvP. He ain't lying. Shout out to Shax, he ain't lying.
Still haven't done the dungeon yourself. Can't recommend it enough, obviously, if we didn't spoil it all for you. But
sorry if we spoiled it. Yeah, please get in there. I'm Gravy. I was in the same boat. Finally squared it because this is what's happening, E.
I mean, the in-game matchmaking in 23 will help some people, but then you don't know how much, like, are you going to get time to go after all the little lore bits and stuff like that, all the little collectibles? It's, yeah, there's a lot of story that's there, and I wish at some point they would just like, hey, season 21 is done. Here's all the lore and voice lines and, like, compile that somehow in-game if possible, which, would be important, but still, even if it's Bungie putting on, season 21 all lore, just so they could hear the voice lines, the way they sound, the way they're like directed, so you get all the pieces there. You can see all the way through all the little anything that like Zivu says that's important, any of the interactions between the characters. Like they need a compilation of that stuff because they have the ability to just do that easier than anybody else. It'd be nice if it'd be nice if there was a place for people to see that.
And the thing also too is I'm thinking about now that everyone's got me Awesome One and Austin got me talking about Zivu. We forget how much Zivu hates Savathun.
Oh, traitor, yeah.
Yeah, traitor. Like oh man, there's so many dynamics when she comes back. That's gonna be expensive. She's too. They giving us all that goodness in those seasons. Like we're gonna get Savathun.
Like how long of the how many missions does Final Shape have to be to get all this done? If you had your dream and say they're going to do a Zivu and a Witness situation, because who knows? How many missions? Like 8, 12, 16? Like, how long do you think it would take?
I would love a 10 piece. I would love a 10 piece, man. Because Witch Queen was about 8, right? How much was Witch Queen?
They're all 8, generally.
They're all 8. I mean,
well, Witch Queen was 8. Lightfall was 8. All started. Witch Queen and Lightfall. That's kind of when their campaigns did.
The stakes are so high. I don't want them.
I was gonna say 12. I need 12 to flesh it out.
To flush it? Yeah, I'm listening. I'm with you because to me the biggest thing in this is the veil and the, as being Travis says, the goopity goop and the boogity boogity stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the ooga booga stuff, because it's like you gotta clean that out and flush that out properly. Right, and you need proper time to do it. And then we also got to think about all the players. Cade is back in this damn Final Shape.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We got that. We got Zivu. We still got the Witness to deal with in the portal. And there's so many moving parts. And now we know Savathun is going to be a part of it.
Well, Savathun in week 5 of 6 is going to tell us this is how you get through the portal. And then season 23 is going to be us assembling the parts to be able to go through the portal. And then in Final Shape, we're actually going to go through the portal. And then in season 25, I have no idea what the hell we're going to be doing.
Yeah, what the hell we were doing at
I
that
was
point?
like, I don't know. That's why the showcase is like so curious to be like,
How far are
how
we out
much
from?
do they tease about the future of the Soul system? I don't know.
Oh, no. So a shout out to Rook. He said he hopes Cade is just a vision and isn't fully back. It would make his death feel cheap. Look,
I if they announce, I was like, I completely get that. Believe me, I didn't like his death being ruined on marketing. I totally get why marketing is marketing. That's totally fine. Bringing him back is kind of another marketing ploy. Fully get that. But also, you don't announce Nathan Fillion's coming back if he's going to be in there as like a dream sequence, and that's the only
exactly.
reason. Like from a business perspective,
He's
that's just
back.
not how that's going to work, in my opinion.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. He's back. Like
I was like,
they
and
go.
that's just kind of where I have to just be real with like Bungie and
Mhm,
Sony went out, got the money, carved out the part of the schedule. Nathan
mhm,
Fillion recorded the voice lines. It feels like if you're going to go that big on the announcement, especially after you lose Lance,
mhm.
it just I feel like that. Yeah, it's not just a one time. It feels like it's got to be bigger than just like the dream sequence kind of alternate reality inside. We'll see, but
Right.
that's
Good.
it. Just feels like it needs more. So.
What else going
Um,
on? It's 12 and
TWAB,
all.
yeah, I was gonna say actually, if you want to go through kind of the TWAB and look through, just kind of read out what's there. Like the top, basically. So the big thing in the TWAB is the stability of the game. It's been an issue. Everybody's wondering, are you going to tell us? Are you going to tell us? Are you going to tell us? They finally came out in the TWAB and said something.
Mhm.
So when it comes to the improving infrastructure, that's the part I want you to read from your perspective and like break through.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a little bathroom break, but I want to set you up.
Yeah, I'll
So
read all it.
they
Yeah.
said this. I was going to
Yeah.
say the services that power Destiny 2 are a critical part of every player's experience and we are committed to improving the stability and reliability long term. Last month, we spoke about the backend upgrades we implemented to prepare you for the year of Lightfall and service stability issues that have recently affected players. Today, we would like to dive into some of the technical details around Destiny 2's service stability and provide a deeper layer of transparency about what we are doing to improve it throughout the upcoming seasons. That's a
Mm.
fun line right there because it takes seasons, but yeah. IT, go.
Yeah. In preparation for Lightfall and for future large releases, we've invested a wide effort to update our internal services with a long-term goal of improving scalability, maintenance, and levels of support for our server infrastructure. Specifically, we want to ensure that we have improved stability during moments or events of high player concurrency. This work resulted in the successful launches of both Lightfall and the Root of Nightmares World's first race. Both perform more smoothly than prior launches, and we expect the trend to continue for future releases. So they're looking at that high concurrent player moment, and I guess that's where they have some of their breaking points as far as stability is concerned, and they consider those looks like to be a success. Interesting. All right, so improving our infrastructure. When gameplay messages from Destiny 2 are received, they are sent to a key service named Claims, which then routes them onto the server that is responsible for your player data. This is an essential service for keeping the client and server in sync during every moment of gameplay. Yeah, I know about the messages when they come on the bottom of the screen. As you can imagine, this means Claims handles a tremendous amount of volume. Yeah, contacting Destiny servers, routing every single kill, orb, or until Glimmer, or every unit of Glimmer in Destiny 2 to the correct recipient. At a Lightfall's launch, a few improvements were made to the Claim service. We made updates to some of its underlying connection technology and made changes that allow Claims to scale out to more servers so that during moments of events of high concurrency, this service should make use of those extra resources and avoid getting bogged down. While the updates achieved our scale goals, we discovered issues around this service's error recover functionality. Normally, if Claims has its communication channels disrupted to other services, it is designed to automatically restore these connections. These disruptions can happen for a wide variety of reasons, blah, 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 blah. However, despite rigorous testing, the updated system is not always recovering as expected in our live game environment. All right, this is the live team. If these channels are permanently disrupted, this can be one of the causes behind Weasel, Baboon, or other error codes and like the whole list of names.
Yep.
In those cases, even a rolling restart of our claim services is not enough to restore the service. Okay, so what are you going to do then? All right, instead, a full restart of our Destiny 2 services must be performed to restore the claim system, which we are rapidly working to correct. All right, here's the meat of it. Let's get to what we got to do now. Fixing these claims is the very top priority of our services organization right now, but we must do it very carefully. Done incorrectly, we can unintentionally make stability for players worse or create new issues. This is not a, oh, they highlighted this in bold. Well, this is key. This is not a process that could happen overnight. And we must make sure that as we make these fixes, we guarantee that your gameplay messages get routed reliably so that your Destiny 2 experience remains smooth and stable. Although claims is just one of the many services, we are receiving ongoing updates and maintenance to improve the stability and reliability of Destiny 2. The improvements we are making are a crucial step in both addressing the immediate issues players are experiencing, as well as better equipping us to deal with any potential future issues. So basically, long and short of it is this is such an intense change on this service claims that they are afraid that by just doing a kind of a rough change that it's basically tied to so many different things is what I'm getting at it. It's not a simple fix, and they have to make sure that they don't affect anything. The key point to me from this is they were finally transparent on that this cannot happen overnight. So
that's the big line in bold. Yeah.
Now the next part of this that I feel, I mean, obviously you want to give some level of timeline to the player base though, as to when, what you could at least say, we hope to have this, process sorted by final shape. That's the only thing I'm going to nitpick on, because I understand the nature of what they're saying. It's just that you still have to provide player expectations. So we're just supposed to suffer all this time until this is done without any light in the horizon kind of deal. So I think it's further down. Look, I'm happy they're talking about it. This is long overdue. This game has been suffering so long, right? So I wonder why it took them so long to get to this point of actually telling us. But
my guess on the time it takes to put something, because you got the road ahead for like ongoing season 21 mid-season, season 22 launch. They got stuff a little bit below as well for a plan, but it probably took the engineering time a while to figure out what the issue was, track it down, put a plan in, set like a roadmap, go through geotech, like whatever you want to do. Like, takes a while for them to line it up, and for an engineering team, it's normally something that's not public facing.
Absolutely.
So for them to go through and kind of outline all of this stuff probably took a decent amount of work, because I'm sure for a little while it took a little bit to find it. And then they know that, like, okay, they probably got to do, like, you got like 100 different things on each side and be like, all right, we got to move one over here and move it over here, make sure it doesn't break. Okay, cool. All right, do one over, and like, it's going to take a little while because they are still trying to make sure whatever they do doesn't break it worse.
I get that.
And that's kind of I'm guessing the hard part too.
My issue still, though, is that this game has been in an unstable state for a long time.
No, it's been bad for
it's
6
still
months, like noticeably bad 6 months ish.
And the only pushback I will say is that they have to stop treating the player. Look, if you look at other blog posts like 343, the detail is insane.
Oh yeah,
it's extremely descriptive. So to me, again, I don't necessarily. Not that they're being deceptive. I just feel like they are not trusting the player's intelligence at all, right? So it's just like, think about this. If you're coming to this blog post consistently, you're a hardcore player and you understand the workings of Destiny on some level, right? So you may not understand every tech aspect of what they're talking about, but at least you understand something. So I think, look, at the end of the day, I love the fact that they finally got ahead of it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I would definitely like a breakdown as to when they think this is potentially could be resolved. And I think it's a fair ask for the community to be like, okay, so, is this something we should expect next season? Like, are we trying to make a dent in it? And then, the end, basically, when you're a corporation, you have a North Star. You have a target of what you are trying to accomplish.
You should, at least.
Exactly. They definitely have that. So my thing is, you need to be transparent with this base. This base is suffering with a very unstable game. That's all I'm saying. This is on the right road, but just a little bit more there, and I'm fine. But unless there was more stuff that I missed because I didn't see the second part of this,
did you go down to the road ahead for just the plan?
All right, so let me do that before I rant. To give everyone clear, because it could be right there, stupid. Like, you idiot, we told you, it's right there. To give everyone a clear understanding of our next steps. Okay, here we go, here we go. Because again, this TWAB is Cog reading this TWAB live on the fly. Ongoing, we'll continue to make improvements. You know, this work will be ongoing. We'll continue through this timeline as far as improving procedures for incident recovery. Okay, cool. Mid-season 21, there's an update. They will target. Okay, no, this is good. This is good. We're getting roadmap. Okay, my bad. For logging and alerting system, allowing us to diagnose issues more quickly with claims and related services. And those changes are designed to minimize risks, blah, blah, blah. Okay, season 22, update 7.2. Okay, there we go. We're getting it. We are deploying a large set of improvements meant to improve the self-healing ability.
I love that. I'm like, we have self-resing claim
The
systems now.
claims are gonna res. They're gonna self-res.
They're gonna be D1 Warlocks. All right, cool.
Reduce the odds of us needing to bring Destiny 2 temporarily, to reduce the odds of us needing to bring Destiny 2 temporarily offline when the issue occurs. Okay, we're making 6 targeted fixes to claim systems. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of breeze through because this is a lot. We're adding improved support for targeted chaos testing against our services, allowing us to better simulate different failure modes for our services. We're adding more logging for non-claim portions of messaging pipelines to detect other issues that can lead to connection problems for players. Finally, to reduce the odds of introducing new problems with these changes, we are also updating and expanding our claims unit tests. Claim unit. This is the automatic testing that verifies code is behaving the way it should. And then finally, season 23 launch, update 7.30. Based on the results of 7.20 updates and improved logging, we will be targeting deeper and broader architectural improvements to improve the serviceability and rapid recovery of Destiny 2, which will include a range of additional improvements. We hope this sheds new light. Okay, no, I'm good. Cog shuts up. This is what I wanted. I didn't see this part because I'm reading this live. This is what I'm talking about. Roadmap, player expectation. This is what you're supposed to do. And you in IT, if the corporation's going down, and everyone's having a problem with a specific service or whatever, it is my job to provide executive leadership. Hey, this is the timeline as to when we expect resolution, and these are the steps we're trying to achieve. It's called change management. So no, this is good. This is good.
Do you think this is reasonable for people who play a video game to even understand? Not even understand the technical. Do you think it's for them to be like, the servers are down again, and they're like, well, we gave you a roadmap. It's like part of this roadmap is 7 weeks away.
Facts. And to, as we quote our favorite child, Travis, it's not my problem.
Yeah, it's not my problem. Yeah.
The player base it's perfectly okay for them to say, well, you figure that out. Thank you for sharing. You figure that out. We'll come back when you're ready to be fixed or whatever. And that's perfectly fine. But I don't want to minimize the importance of this. This is important. They finally did it way late.
I'm playing devil's advocate for fun.
Absolutely. I love it because that's what Travis would say. And I'm with him on that. Anybody who says, bro, this game is unstable, I'm not, I'm being kicked or whatever, what have you, Diablo's outside. I'm playing. What I'm saying?
What is your level, by the way? What are you up to?
I'm thinking I'm 35, 36.
Are you playing a lot on your ROG ally?
Oh, yeah, I play a lot of ROG.
My brother tried to send you a message to say, hey, what are you working on? I could help you. And then I was like, he's probably playing on his little ROG ally and probably didn't see a damn thing, I'm guessing, because I don't even know what it's like on there.
Did he send it through BattleNet?
Probably.
Okay, maybe that's what I have to check.
I would guess, unless it was Discord. I don't know, but I would guess BattleNet. He probably just saw you on or something. But
if I'm on ROG, then my communication is limited.
That's what I figured. I told him, I was like, I'm guessing if you were on there, and also I know it's like I've been like playing with you before. Then all of a sudden people see you're online, and you're like, ah, and it's like sometimes the dude just wants to shut it down and hide. So it happens.
Otherwise, I can't get anything finished. But I wanted to get the dungeon done. And shout out to Scream, who's here earlier. Shout out to Sinister. Yeah. I'm so glad I got it done. I was like, yes. I'm complete with this season.
There you go.
And I'll probably actually run. I need to run the I didn't run the raid. I probably want to farm Nezarec because I want that damn shotgun.
I want that
damn shotgun. Did you get
it? I did actually get it. I have not used it that much yet, honestly, but I do need to put it through its paces because it definitely needs the one that I would say is like probably for your legendary craftables and stuff like that. Last Wish comes back next week. So if you're going to beat up on Callie,
Beat up on Callie to
farm all the weapon frames, because I think apparently she drops everything.
the whole loot pool.
So everybody's just smashing her and then going back to orbit, and then yeah, I know, but I mean,
We all smashed Callie this
yeah,
week.
exactly. So if I didn't do it the first week, and I think that's next week when it comes back, because yeah, like you got some really good perk combinations for at least legendaries and stuff if you want to mess around with.
And I would farm. I still never got that damn. You got it. What you call it? The heavy linear solar linear.
Oh,
from
1,000 voices.
I still never got
I did
that.
finally get that, indeed, yes.
I was so jealous when I saw you put that pic up. Oh, I know. Shout out
to Rook and the group I ran with. I'm forgetting most of the names that were in there now, so sorry everyone that I just forgot to mention, but Rook, thank you.
No doubt, bad for that. No, there's Discord chat on the alley. It's basically Windows PC. I just got to put Discord on it.
Yeah.
I just haven't been lazy. I've been still acting like a handheld and not.
You put Discord on there, somebody talks in the speakers, they're like, too loud.
Too loud. I'll do all that stuff. But yeah, it's a great thing when I want to do quick grinding in Destiny or quick grinding.
Yeah, no, I totally believe that. But yeah, next week you have the double exotic fish. Next week we're gonna have Last Wish farmable. Next week we're gonna have the exotic scout rifle. Supposedly it's stasis. Supposedly it makes things and does all the stasis things.
Wonder what it does. Wonder what has that.
I'll tell you offline afterwards.
Somebody join offline. So I need to do that. Michael Kelly, what's going on? What's good? Yeah, you don't have 1,000K. Yeah, that's been
1,000K. That's $1 million, by the way. Awesome one. Just letting you know.
Yeah, man, I need that. But yeah, I got to get in there. I want to farm this dungeon. I like the weapons from it. And I think then I'll be probably finished for this season. I mean, once I get the exotic quest.
Yeah, we'll get exotic quest next week. Iron Banner the week after that. Still can't decide if I'm going to put time in for that emblem. It's a nice emblem, but I don't know if it's worth it.
You didn't get the wolf emblem?
I haven't touched Iron Banner this season.
Bro,
I know it's a good emblem. I get it, but I'm like, it's just another emblem.
Bro,
but I know. Believe me, I've seen the emblem. Seen it so many times.
Emblem Coggins.
I literally log into Iron Banner Week and there's part of my friends list with it on there. I'm like, I know it's cool, but it's also Iron Banner for 15 ranks and stuff. So we'll see.
It's painful.
But yeah, you got Exotic Quest next week with Last Wish farming. Week after you got Iron Banner. Week after that's probably going to be Solstice for 3 weeks, and then we probably have 2 down weeks. That would be my guess is how it goes.
For the next week of Exotic Quest, do you think we're going to have to fish again?
Yes, 100%. You're going to have to fish on the EDZ. That's going to be your 3rd fish. Then you have the 3 broken blades. Then you go on a deep dive. Probably do this with a team. Put each of the blades into the 3 statues, which if you don't know where they are, I did a video on that already. And then you're going to probably have some encounter. And if you beat that, you're probably going to get the exotic. Catalyst, not a freaking clue. But yeah, you can interact with you can interact with 2 of the statues now. So the 3rd one, we just need the fish to give us the broken blade. We do that, go back in deep dive. Ta-da.
I think I put both my blades in the same statue and she was talking like it was no problem.
Can't.
You can't? But she was talking to me.
She will talk to you. Put one of them in there.
Right. And she talked to me when I did it the second time in the same one. Zero Wrath had a whole conversation again.
Weird. So was it the same conversation?
No, was it a different one? At least I thought it was different. Maybe it was the same.
I haven't done it, but I know you should not be able to break it. So.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I don't think you can mess it up.
Okay, that's what I was about to say. That's what I was.
If so, poorly designed quest, but no, I don't think you can break it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that damn fish. And you said they're at least going to give us double fish
Next week, they have a bonus that doubles the exotic fish catch rate for all 3 destinations.
Okay.
So if you need to get your triumphs on, Scarrow and Teddy, they're going to be fishing a lot next week. Sorry, guys, but good luck with all of that fun. 5,000 fishing lures later.
I ain't doing all that. I just once I get that.
I don't care about the triumphs. If I get the quest and I'm done with fishing. Don't need it. Yeah, as soon as they made it be required, I was like, oh, you've messed up. You've taken the fun out of fishing. You've made it a requirement.
Bro, it made it a grindy affair. Like, come on.
Yeah, wasn't necessary.
Be nice. Be nice with this.
Well, trying to think, is
Mhm.
there anything else that we didn't cover? Because kind of
Mm,
flowed
kinda,
right along. Talked about the
kinda.
dungeon, talked about the story, talked about next season with the Savathun
Mhm.
alarm clock, probably week
Yes.
5.
Mhm.
Um, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna
Sea of
say.
Star, like, yeah, Steam Next Fest, I played like Sea of Stars and Lies of P.
Mhm.
There's another one, Devolver Digital. It's called Wizard with a Gun. I'll,
Interesting.
I'll be curious to. It's kind of a little roguelike thing. It looks like
Mhm.
interesting little like roguelite though, kind of leveling up situation. It's one I'll kind of watch a little bit.
Okay, I'll check it out. Got my centrifuge catalyst done. So shout out. I got a newfound respect for that gun. I was kind of hard on it.
I'll have to spend a
at-
little time with it because I need to
Yeah.
finish the catalyst completely, like this whatever kills I need.
Yeah. Oh, the catalyst took so long. I was doing it in the rain. I will say this. It is a game changer being amplified because it stays up.
That's the key. That's the big thing right now. Is like I think the catalyst is what's going to make it viable because without that, it's just like as soon as you run out of a clip or you stop moving or whatever, I'm like,
Yep.
that's
Right.
annoying. So yeah, if it makes
That's
that a bit more viable, then
yes.
it'll probably be a little more. It's still like comparing that to like Risk Runner, or even like my Volt Shot Ikelos. Like, is it doing anything that those won't as a legend, as an exotic? Like, does it feel like it justifies it over? Like my Ikelos SMG is probably the biggest one that you'd have to strip out of there for Arc.
Here's the difference. The difference for me when it passed, you know what test it really passed? The room, what's that room in the one that you beat with the in the raid in the dungeon where the second boss encounter.
Yeah, Ekthar.
Right. It really impressed me in that encounter. Controlling all the ads, killing everybody, and doing enough damage to yellow bar. Not the
Yeah,
big.
because it is an exotic primary. Yeah.
So that's what it, because I was like, damn, as a 450, this is really crowd controlling. So I have to give it credit. And mind you, I was doing all that while my catalyst wasn't complete yet. I had like 80% towards my catalyst. I had to get it done afterwards. So I'm dying to rerun it again now that I have the catalyst done. I got a respect for Centrifuge with a, what you call it. But you know what other thing don't sleep on right now, people are for Warlocks out there? Shout out to my band Demon. I'm so used to using the Starfire. What is it? The Statue of Liberty joint? What's that
Mm.
joint? You know what I'm talking about. The Fallen Sunstar, right? I'm such a Fallen Sunstar. But bro, I'm not gonna front. Have y'all gotta give Crown of Tempest a rerun again since the rework.
I believe
With
that.
with Joe. And if you're a Storm Trance guy, keeping that thing up all the time and getting your super energy and it lasting super long
Yeah.
is crazy. Now the only thing Storm Trance ain't gonna help you is when you're doing them far boss encounters where
Yeah,
they
you
all
can't do a damn thing there.
ain't
Yeah.
doing nothing. That's when good old Geo Mags come back. If you're running Arcs Warlock, I've been having fun. But to your question, look, Ikelos SMG is always gonna be good. Oh, again, well, you're not running Warlock, but Volt Shot really runs well with Storm Trance, Crown of Tempest as well, because it gives bonus if you jolt people. Now they added that ability. If anything, you have jolts, it also gives all this super energy ability,
Jeez.
all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's really, really, yeah. Shout out to Awesome One. It's unlimited. I was getting my rifts all the time. I was getting the Arc Buddies all the time. It's crazy, but yeah, I Centrifuge. I got a lot of respect for it. I thought it was an average exotic at first. And I really, really like it for endgame. But I'm gonna try Void build because I think there's some triumphs if you go all Arc in the dungeon or Void
Oh
in the
yeah, you
dungeon.
got to do all your subclasses and stuff like
Yeah.
that too. Yeah.
I noticed there's no exotic drat rate increase for that, but we're gonna leave
There
that
are.
alone.
Yeah,
But not for the class ones.
Oh yeah, no. No, there are only certain things that you do. So
I just gotta get all the ghosts. But anyway, we good.
got a good place to wrap up episode
Yeah,
255.
This is a good place. Travis is doing. Can we talk about what Travis is doing?
Nah, we'll let him tell whatever he can or can't later on. So he's always under all those fancy NDA preview fancy
Mhm.
pants situations. So we'll let him disclose what he may or may not.
Yes, that is true.
Chat, you guys have been fun. It's been a fun episode. Little 2-man show here. Still good to chop it up with my co-host. Always good times. Well, to everybody out there, thank you guys. Episode 255. Nice little tidy show here, June 29th. Exotic Quest next week. And also, if you made it this far, you guys get to know Cacus. will be on the show next week.
Ah,
My man,
yes.
Cacus HD will be here. I don't know if I can do as good as my last intro. I'll have to see what I can do to mess with him a little bit, but he will be here for a good show. Post Exotic Quest, always good for some PvE stuff. And yeah, thank you. All of you guys in there, Prescott, Zinthos, Awesome, Rook, all of you guys that are members in chat. I see those green ones. Thank you guys for the support. Well, outro it up, man. Anything major?
No, another good one, man. Me and Maddie got one in the belt. You know what I'm saying? As far as Defining Duke, go check that out. We got a funny. He's been killing it with the thumbnails. I have to give him credit. Like he's got me taking poses in suits. He's got me like I literally do photo shoots after every Defining Duke.
I believe it.
But to see how the show is really growing and people are responding to it, it's absolutely hilarious. So go check that out. We talk about what's going on there. And obviously on Sunday, it's the Lord's Day. We're going to hold the line with King David. We're going to see what he's going to talk about.
I believe all the people with that shirt. Destin did a good one. I love that.
Oh,
Destin came up. That was great.
It was, bro, to see Hold the Line doing what it's doing and seeing people embrace ILP is really cool. We just hit 17K. We're starting to grow a bit now. Starting to got some, I can't spoil it yet, but we got some guests coming, that I'm excited about.
I know the one I want you to have on there, so.
Oh, yeah. I'm working on that for 2. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, we're working on a dual approach on that one.
Nice.
But yeah. So look forward for that. We're gonna break more stuff down, and then hopefully next week will be a big week. But as far as games, it'll probably be still want to finish off some stuff in Destiny, but I want to get Diablo done. I really want to get it done this week. I want to get it done because I want to then hit up Final Fantasy 16. I want to get that.
I'll be curious your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah, no, me, kind of same thing, prepping for Exotic Quest next week, early part of July. Gonna stream a little bit of kind of variety and other things in between here. Remnant 2 is coming up in July, and then everything is August 22nd to Starfield. Like,
woo!
Immortals of Avium got bumped there. Destiny's there. Armored Core 6 is on the 25th. I feel like there's something I'm not mentioning there. Starfield is on the 6th, and I'm like, I don't have time for, again, anything. So it's just looking to be another messy month in there. And then GCX is right before all of,
we're going to pull up.
Yep.
No doubt.
So, yeah. Sorry, we'll try this again. Episode number 255 for June 29th. Thank you, Cog. Thank you, Travis, doing what you do out there and putting in the good word. And for everybody out there in chat, thank you very much. If you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever, drop a like, follow, heart, whatever you can do to support. Thank you guys very much. We'll see you soon. It has been The Last Word.